Hey, folks. Dawn Nicole McElwain here, CEO of QCWIB ProcuraFind, one of the fastest growing platforms helping to develop and connect small businesses to corporate contracts. And listen, today I want to talk about how I accidentally made my first $35,000 as a prime contractor with a multi-billion-dollar global firm, and how you can listen out for opportunities and what can be learned by that. Because literally, I did not go seeking an RFP. I did not go seeking the opportunity. It was something that I kind of accidentally stumbled upon, and I don't think I talk about this enough. Now, I will not be disclosing the name because I do not have permission to disclose it. However, if you know me, if you've been in my circles, chances are you've heard the story, but I wanted to share it now with my YouTube audience. So here's the caveat I will say. I have been an entrepreneur for about 15 years, right? Full time since 2015. So I've been doing this for some time, business strategist, business coach, consultant, all the things, right? Globally accredited trainer. I've worn all those titles, and I figured out that the training is my sweet spot. Like, that's what I'm good at. I've won some awards. I've done all these things. However, before I won this first $35,000 that I accidentally stumbled on, I kind of already sold some services. So if I'm being truthful, I did some leadership retreats. I did some speaking. I did some high-level consultancy and coaching, but I did not consider that as a corporate contract at the time. This would have been like 2017, 2018, 2019. I kind of considered these as one-offs, you all, because I didn't have that mindset yet. I was still a small business owner who was happy and lucky. I thought I was lucky to get the opportunity to do this leadership retreat or this or that. And it wasn't consistent, and it wasn't an intentional thing that I set out to do as a small business owner. But in 2021, that would change. So what happened for me in 2021 is real fast, a company who was already a prime tier 1 contractor on a major global account running enterprise agile services reached out to folks like me who had smaller boutique agile project management businesses and basically brought us on as subcontractors. Now, at that time, that just meant, hey, we want to pay you $10.99. You get to still operate under your own business name. And at the time, my business was Agile Connects. Now, for those who don't know, I have a deeply certified background in Agile. I've done a lot of work in Agile enterprise management and all that. I don't do that anymore. As you know, I run QCWB ProcuraFind, but that's what I was doing at the time. So I get this phone call. I become a 1099 contractor, subcontractor under them. They are the prime. That means they run the relationship. And Lord knows I was not looking to compete with them because they had this relationship in multiple counties and cities and actually countries, right? So it wasn't a matter of competing. It was a matter of showing up, doing a good job under their brand, okay? Now, here's where things get interesting. One day while minding my own agile coaching business, because we were all agile coaches with our independent businesses, I remember there was a question that came in. I think it was the Slack message or Teams, one of those, right? And the message basically was from upper management, and it basically said, hey, are any of you agile coaches interested in helping us in your spare time build this new training for our leaders coming up? And it was going to be an agile training. Let us know if anyone's available to volunteer. Well, lo and behold, we had like 7 or 8 agile coaches reply in the Slack message and say, oh my God, me. I'll do it. I'm interested in doing this, right? And so there was a ton of interest, and people were very quick to raise their hand and to basically say that they would do it. However, because I come from a training background, my skill set is, building these frameworks, training design, all of it. I knew that what they were asking was a little bit more than a volunteer job. When I read what was being asked, I could look at that with my skilled eye, and I was like, you need to pay for this. This is not volunteer work. We're all here as agile coaches getting paid, right? Our fee, our hourly fee, which was healthy, by the way. But we're getting paid a nice hourly fee to actually do the work we're doing right now. But now that you're asking us, to volunteer, that's out of scope, for what we're doing. And that's going to take a skill set, because what they were looking for is someone to not only help craft and develop the training, you all, they were looking for volunteers to then help deliver it. But if you know anything about training, you also have to do some discovery ahead of time with stakeholders. You have to conduct discovery questions and make sure that you're building it right. And it's all this stuff to make sure you have the right curriculum at the right time for the right group. So I looked at that and I knew that this was worth money. This was worth more than volunteers, but I was also shocked to see the number of small business owners on this project willing to do it for free. So, in true Dawn Nicole fashion, in 2021, what I did is I kind of went around, if you will. I went to the decision maker who was asking the question. I went to her directly and I said, hey, I saw the request that you put in the Slack or thread message, whatever it was. And although I also see a ton of people volunteering for what you're looking for, this is going to take some skill set, and I'm sure you want it to be done right. And I'm sure you want a train the trainer model so that this training can not just be applied one time, but multiple times. Is there budget for this? You all, best words, most important words you can ever ask. At this point, something amazing happened. The person I was corresponding with said, there can be a budget. What are you thinking? Make me a proposal. Let's get on, let's do a Zoom call or whatever we were doing, a Teams call. Let's talk about it. So it went from this kind of free volunteer request that people were oh so happy to do, to me asking the right questions, to me then getting on a call, to me basically giving them an RFP of about $35,000 plus to build it. And I'm happy to say I won that work. And when I won that work, since that was not necessarily in scope for what I was doing with this contractor, I was able to be brought on as a prime. My training company, outside of the scope of work I was already doing, was able to pick up that piece of business. And you all, that would not be the last. And so I'm going to do a second video on how that landed me then $150,000 contract next as a prime. And before you say $150,000 is not that much money, it is when you're talking about $150,000 for 3 months worth of work. Okay, so $50,000 a month. So I'm not going to go into the second piece, but I want you to know the lesson learned here is, number one, don't be so quick to give up your value for free. Many of these people who weren't skilled, they weren't experts at building training curricula and understanding how design thinking needs to go for adult learning. They were just quick to volunteer. And you know what? These were 7 or 8 people who would have done it for free with what I did for 35,000 plus, right? Because knowing me, I built in a SaaS model where there was an assessment that you could only renew the license to get. I mean, we'll talk about how I priced it later, but I just want you to know that I never forgot how people were willing to do something for free that I was able to make $35,000 on, and then eventually will go on to do more contracts with this company and become a prime. So that's the story of how I accidentally fell into a $35,000 contract with this billion-dollar company. And I think the lesson is, don't give up your value for free. Understand what you're valued at. Stand firm on it. When you're the expert, stand firm. The second thing is listening for opportunities. A lot of the opportunities in the corporate space, especially if you're lucky enough to already be on a subcontract, a lot of them are not so blaring and obvious. You have to strategically listen for these opportunities and know an opportunity when you see one. So that's my takeaway. I will do a second video of what the next opportunity was that I landed, but I thought it was important to share this one as well. If you like this type of content and you are a small business looking to get developed to compete at the highest levels and looking to get connected to opportunities, whether we connect you or give you the advanced strategies for how to connect yourself, go to www.qcwib.com today to learn more and to become a member. We are now open nationwide to men and women-owned businesses. Let's go, let's grow together. Take care. Dawn Nicole signing off. Bye.